Rain slaps Glen's face as the broken windmill hits the first apple tree and bounces. Glen's boots hold. His song holds too, wild and bright. Down we go, but not to doom. Land us soft in orchard bloom. The locked crank judders under his hand, and the iron safety chain screams against the brass plate. Boards burst. Lanterns swing. One storm-bound cog spirit tumbles past him into a sack of flour with a sad little clank. The mill skids through mud, slows, and shudders to a crooked stop above Briar Vale. Baron Wicker groans under a heap of wet rope. The Honeybell Charm is still with Glen. The last cog spirits twitch nearby. What does Glen do?
I go execute the Baron to prevent him from making any more trouble, singing him his last verse. Then I head back to Granny Pip to present to her the charm, take back my drink and finish my song with a final sip of my beverage.
A muddy cog spirit snaps at Glen's boot before his final verse can fall. Baron Wicker lies pinned under wet rope, pale and wheezing, his painted mustache hanging by one sad corner. He is beaten, not free to cause fresh trouble. But the last storm-bound cog spirits still twitch in the mud, little brass jaws clicking near the wreck. Glen's song carries over them. Lie still, old Baron, no more sky. The apples win and so do I. The Honeybell Charm gives one warm chime in his hand. The path back to Granny Pip waits below the orchard, but the wreck is not safe yet. Glen can end this cleanly by handling Wicker and the spirits here. What does he do?
I told you last round. I finish off the Baron and head back to Granny.
A brass jaw snaps shut where Glen's heel was, spraying mud up his leg. The wreck gives a sour creak. Baron Wicker stays pinned under rope, wheezing and done, his false mustache sliding down his cheek. Glen still has the Honeybell Charm, warm in his hand, and the path to Granny waits below the orchard. But the last storm-bound cog spirits twitch around the broken windmill, and the iron safety chain spits blue sparks beside the crank. Leaving now means dragging trouble toward town. One clean verse could still end the mess here. What does Glen do?
I stomp all the twitching cogs until they stop moving, then head to the controls and break them so the mill can never take off again.
Mud splashes high as Glen brings his heel down. The last cog spirit gives a tiny offended squeak, then goes still. Still singing, Glen stomps the twitching brass flat, one clank at a time. Then he grips the red-handled controls and wrenches hard. Wood cracks. The crank jams. The brass ward plate buckles around the iron safety chain, which spits one last spray of blue sparks into the mud and falls quiet. The broken windmill sags into the orchard like a tired old hen. Above Briar Vale, the storm begins to loosen. The Honeybell Charm sits warm and safe in Glen's hand. Baron Wicker groans under his ropes, beaten and very muddy. The mill will not fly again tonight. Where does Glen carry the charm now?
I go give the charm to Granny. I want my cider back. Hopefully she didn't drink it all and sing my last verse.
Warm lamplight spills from Granny Pip's porch, and the smell of hot cider rolls into the rain. Glen comes down from the orchard mud with the Honeybell Charm safe in hand. Behind him, the broken windmill sits quiet and crooked above Briar Vale, held fast by the buckled iron safety chain. Granny Pip opens the door, sees the charm, and lets out a laugh like a kettle squeak. "Bless my biscuits, Glen. You did it." She takes the charm with both hands. His golden bell gives one sweet chime. Then she points to a mug by the hearth. "Your cider is safe. Mostly. I only sniffed it." She squints. "Now then, let's hear that last verse. What do you do?"
I sing with Granny while sipping my cider. Help me write it.
Granny Pip claps the beat on her knee, and the cider smells of apples, spice, and victory. She sings first, bright and creaky. The mill came down with a muddy thump. Slash the Baron landed on his rump. Then she points her mug at Glen for the answer line. A good last verse might go. Ring, Honeybell, ring sweet and clear. Briar Vale keeps harvest cheer. Storm flew off and trouble's done. Glen drank cider. Glen has won. Granny cackles, lifts the Honeybell Charm, and lets it chime once over the porch. Rain pats the roof. The broken windmill stays quiet in the orchard mud. Glen's cider is his, warm to the last sip. How does Glen sing the final line?
I like it. I sing ring, Honeybell, ring sweet and clear. Briar Vale keeps harvest cheer. Storm flew off, and trouble's done. Glen drank cider, Glen has won.
The last line rings across the porch, warm as cider and bright as a bell. Granny Pip claps so hard her mug sloshes. Ha! That'll stick in every head by breakfast. The Honeybell Charm chimes once in her hand, sweet and clear. Far up in the orchard, the broken windmill sits crooked and still in the mud. No longer hungry for storm or sky. Glen's cider stays warm to the final sip. Granny Pip raises her mug high. To Glen, who grounded a windmill, saved the harvest, and made the barren land rump first. Rain taps the roof like tiny applause as Briar Vale settles safe beneath the storm. What do you do? The end. Thank you for listening.